Welcome back, everyone, to another Onward VRML cast. I'm your host, the Sky Joker, and today I am joined by Ghost7705, my wonderful co-caster. Ghost, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. It's a little early. Well, noon for me on the Pacific Standard Time here, but I'm excited, man. This is gonna be an amazing day for Onward.
100%. We've got the EU semifinals. This is two or one out of two matches that are currently being played. No fun intended versus Venture. I mean, like you, I'm so excited. This is top Onward play. The postseason going into the champions. NFI versus Venture, working hard to get to this spot. Ghost, tell me about the season between these two teams.
Yes, so no fun intended in Venture. No fun intended currently ranked number one in EU. Venture close behind in third. They have had played each other a total of two times this season. NFI both coming out on top. However, they have been some very close matches. So no fun intended and Venture played pretty early on in the season, and it was a 9-7 score. So no fun intended, barely winning that by 2 points. And then they faced each other at the end of the season on the last week of the season, and it was a 9-11 score. No fun intended, coming out on top. I mean, very close matches. These teams have a bit of history with each other, and I'm expecting to see that history continue here today.
Absolutely. I'm sure we're going to see some outstanding plays from both of these teams. Again, sweating to get to this point. So I can only imagine what interesting plays they've got in store for us. Do we have a lobby up yet?
We do. And unfortunately, it was not one of the maps that I tried to predict before the stream started. So.
No. Oh no. Well, it's a good thing I didn't ask you. So you can't be wrong if I didn't ask, right? Let me go ahead and get us in and prepare us for our first map, which is going to be, drum roll, if I can get this thing to work. Here we go. We're hopping into Abandoned. Check out that beautifulness that is Abandoned. Let me go ahead and get it on the scoreboard. There we go. All right, so Ghost, having the stats pulled up, what might we see from this map?
At no fun intended statistics here on Abandoned, they have actually, it seems, oh yes, here it is. They've played it 4 times, winning 4 times. They're currently undefeated on this map. Now, no fun intended have quite a few undefeated maps in this season. They've definitely shown their strengths this season, and Abandoned being one of them. They have an 84% round win rate on Abandoned. And
That's
it looks,
crazy.
I'm trying to see, it doesn't look like Venture, they haven't played Venture on Abandoned in their 2 matches, but yeah, that's definitely a very good record. Looking at the rounds played versus round win, they've only lost 3 rounds on Abandoned all season.
That is actually wild and very impressive. How many rounds have they played? Or how many maps?
They've played 4 maps. 4 maps, 19 rounds, only losing 3 rounds.
Yep.
Now, if I'm gonna go take a little peek-see at Venture. Venture have not played Abandoned yet this season, so it may have just been a blanket ban, a map that they might have been banning throughout the season, or a map that they just haven't really ended up on. But they have it, according to their season statistics, they don't have experience on this map in this, during the regular season. Now, that being said, they could have played it during scrims, who knows? But yeah, NFI clearly picking this map because they believe they have the advantage over Venture.
So, for any new folks that might be tuning in, this is Onward, a 5v5 VR first-person shooter. As we see, NFI, no fun intended, are starting on the attacking team, Marsoc, which is on the left, generally referenced as blue. Their job is to get to a satellite dish, which I'm going to fly on over to now. Actually, my wonderful co-caster has already put up a camera, so I could just jump to it. Right here, you see this satellite uplink or satellite dish. The attacking team has to get within a few feet of that, pull out a tablet on their back and type in a randomized 7 digits code. If they do so, they will get 2 points, and they need 4 to win. If either team takes out all players from the other team, they will get 1 point. And we continue this in fashion, swapping sides after each round until either team gets at least 4 points. That's pretty much the gist of Onward. We are on Abandoned, as we mentioned, one of our longer range maps. It's a pretty linear map. I'd say, 4 main lanes going through it. We've got the wonderfully named Goat Path, which, as we discussed in our last stream, we have no idea actually where that came from, but it is the Goat Path. And then 2 more central paths, and then you got the beach. Let's see here. Apartments down in the center. We've got the tank warehouse building as well. And then 3-story. 3-story probably being the most powerful building in the map. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. If you play it right, it's one of those buildings where it's either you can stand in a window and get shot immediately, or you can just hold it down like a stronghold and really slow down the offense.
Absolutely. We are just waiting for the rest of either team to hop in here. We've got on the side of NFI so far, we've got Deadshot, Sogs, Chalk, and Game Reaper. And on the side of Venture, so far we got how would you pronounce that? Tazender?
I think it's
Tassander?
Tassander. I think it's Tassander. Yeah.
Tazender. That's so American.
Let's just start pronouncing all the names wrong.
Lilos and Special Ops. Just intentionally botching all these names. I think we would get a bad rep from the EU if we did that. I think they would take that.
Speckle Ops.
Speckle Ops. Sugs. Here we go. Sugs. Choke. Gami Repper.
Choke would be so bad.
I don't even know for Deadshot. I couldn't even D3. Just D3.
D3.
Oh, we got the Mad Hatter. That's a player I've not interacted with in a long time. A lot of these players I haven't really interacted with in a long time.
Yeah, I feel like that's another thing to point out here. A lot of these players have been playing Onward for a very long time, and they are bringing a lot of experience to the table. So
100%.
I'm not going to say I expect to see. I know we're going to see amazing strategies, good utility. We're going to see all pins on the board crossed here. I mean, we're going to see every high point in Onward.
And aren't some of current NFI's members previous champions here in the EU and even worldwide?
Let me confirm with that. Looking at NFI's roster, it looks like none of them have any season championship wins. However, Bernie and Chocolate have a custom map champion 2024 on their gamer tag.
Okay.
But yeah, looking at, I do want to point out, now that we're on Abandoned, previously mentioned, is a longer range map. So it's a map where you tend to see snipers. And I know of 2 snipers on both teams here. So we have Deadshot, kind of in the name, has been known to bring longer range weapons. So we could see him sniping, as well as Deadpoo. Could also see them sniping. I know they're pretty known for it. So we might have a little bit of sniper battle here, some counter sniping. I'm excited to see that. It's going to be real good. I'm going to have a real good time. I'll be like, wow, look at that angle. I've never used that before. You know, that's just the beauty of people who utilize or specialize in those types of positions. They really find these off angles and they just find the thinnest line to snake a shot through.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things EU has kind of been known for historically, is just some absolutely wild angles and lines that we don't really see on the NA side.
Yeah, for sure. I can agree to that. Looks like we are waiting on one more person to join the lobby, and then we will be.
Ooh, I'm like
in the time.
I'm shaking already. We haven't even started yet.
I know, man.
Oh,
Like, I'm just excited to watch Onward. What can I tell you?
100%. Something I should touch up on. This will be your standard match format, so it will be a best 2 out of 3. Um, I yeah, I don't think there's any uh like round wins or anything. It's literally just best 2 out of 3 moves on. Correct?
That is correct, yes. So it is played as a traditional VRML match. So there's, yeah, best of three, 2 bands each. Have we talked about the bands? I don't think we have. I'm going to get on that
Nope.
here in a second. But yes, so the only slight difference between a normal VRML match and this one is if one team wins the first 2 maps, the third map is not played. So
Yeah,
that's really the
that's what
only
I was
difference.
thinking.
Yes. But let me get over into our bands here, folks. Let me get back on over.
I do have them up on screen. On the side of NFI, we do have USS Quest and Egress. On the side of Venture over there, we do have Snow Peak and Suburbia. And by now, I'm sure Ghost is ready to tell us about why these teams may have picked those.
Yes. So looking at NFI's statistics, they've played USS Quest only once, and then they did win it. However, it looks like it did go to a round 7. So that means that they went to the as far as it could go. They went to the final round. It was 3-3, and they managed to come out on top there. But yeah, a map that they might not be as comfortable on. And yeah, like I said, they've only played it once, so it's an understandable ban. Egress, they've also played it on the lower end of their map picks. They've played it 3 times, winning twice. So it could just be a map they're not as comfortable on. And then taking a look at the Venture side of the bans. So Venture have opted to ban. What did they ban? I forgot.
Venture banned Snow Peak and Suburbia.
There we are, Snow Peak and Suburbia. So, looking at Venture's statistics, Suburbia is actually their most played map, but they've played it 5 times, they've only won 3. Now, I think that this might be a target ban towards No Fun Intended, because No Fun Intended have played Suburbia 8 times, winning 8 times, undefeated on that map. So they're definitely
Yeah.
just taking out a strong map there. And then them opting to ban Snow Peak, Venture have not played Snow Peak this season. So that could just be they're not that comfortable on it, and they don't really want to go against what strategies NFI might have. So yeah, just a little bit of target banning here and a little bit of comfortable bans, you know. So target banning is when you specifically use your bans to against your opponent. So if your opponent's really good at Subway Downfall, you ban Subway Downfall. You know, that kind of stuff.
Well, we don't have to drag on and on anymore as we hop into round number 1 of this EU semifinals. NFI versus Venture here on Abandoned. We are tuning into Venture here to start off on the defense. Let's go ahead and get those lasers on so everybody can see where the aiming is happening. And here we go into the 6-minute round.
No Fun Intended getting one of the slower spawns on this objective, and they've opted for a 3-2 split. You have Deadshot, Sogs, and Reaper heading across over towards apartments, and then you have Mad Hatter and Chocolate joining up over by the 3-story. I will say this is a pretty tucked defense coming in from Venture. Typically, some teams will like to push out beyond the objective, try to get a little bit of frontside coverage, but Venture have opted to hold it back, allow NFI to push into those cross lines, and maybe you can try to get a few picks at once.
Three-story doorway.
We do have a call out for
Which
3-story.
doorway?
Bottom floor.
It looks like I was correct on the sniper callouts. Deadpoo with the 6 times or 8 times on the AKM, and then Deadshot with the 6 times on the M39 EMR. Ooh.
Botched grenade over there on Go Path. Lilo's gonna be the single defender here to take on 3 of NFI coming down Go Path. Yo, Sogs pushes this.
We're clear past the 2 rocks, Reaper. I'd appreciate if you're on my 6, but if you want to go cutting, that's fine as well.
Getting rather close here. I don't think Lilos is going to be prepared for this aggression. Although I do like their angle. It's going to be really tough for NFI to clear this out without some form of utility.
I do agree. Although it is interesting, he's a lefty holding a right-hand angle, so if they go in slow, he might catch their shoulder.
Yeah, I wonder why they're not opting to use the other side of the rock as a lefty.
Looks like Deadpoo has called out that 3-story has started to make their move out, but they're still playing quite slow here.
What a clear, honestly, as we said, the lefty on the right side of the rock. I think the elbow was just exposed enough for Sogs to catch it.
And that can really open up the defense a lot, losing that go path control.
Sophie next.
Sogs
Sogs is ready.
These lasers are right next to each other here.
Sogs might find... Oh, he comes out on top on the trade. And again, this defense falling apart one at a time. NFI doing a great job at just taking them on one by one. Venture not really in good positions to get refrags.
Yeah, Tassander has made a rotation. Could find Game Reaper out here in the open. Wow.
Kill one.
Only a down there from Tassander. He gets the confirm.
Ooh.
Instant refrag.
The shot's on the Spec Ops who's trying to rotate. Shock gonna find
now
that
it is.
dead poo.
All the sniper alone and Deadshot with a grenade.
Holy mackerel. This makes me wonder, did NFI do homework before this?
They were definitely, like, I mean, well, they haven't played Abandoned. Venture hasn't played Abandoned all season. So I think that was just they just ran their routine and
Intuition.
they knew what to clear. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
A very strong start. Very strong start by NFI there. I think they were just trying to give Venture was just trying to give NFI too much ground, too much stuff to work with. There wasn't any C4s in the goat path. They kind of let them come up the middle, and a little bit too reliant maybe on that sniper trying to pick off people early. But 'tis only a round. Plenty of Onward to go, plenty of time to come back. As NFI moving on to their defense on the same objective.
Go ahead and get the game up and running. Get rid of that overlay. I did have to fix my mouse really quick a little bit. So I've got a button that I normally have set to like change my mouse speed, so it's not like super fast while I'm casting.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, that button decided to swap to changing my mouse wheel to like a free wheel. I don't know if you know what that means.
So it would like
basically like the scroll wheel, so it can change from having a little bit of resistance or to just being a free spinning wheel.
Oh god.
And that button can also change that. Well, it swapped to that, and so my mouse wheel kept going like freewheel, and I kept zooming in on accident. So I apologize to our viewers who may have gotten a little disoriented from that a couple of times. But here we go. We are all fixed now.
I do believe this is one of the quick spawns here. So Venture getting the quick spawn behind apartments, they can very quickly aggress up into the no man's land and get a lot of control, especially because an NFI spawned on the northwestern side. So they might actually have opportunity to get pretty close to objective before even getting some form of resistance.
I do enjoy the fact that you're calling it no man's land now. You're welcome.
I mean, pushing down into the dip, I don't know, I feel like that's the only other thing I've called it is the dip.
Yeah.
Although Venture not opting to take advantage of their quick spawn here and slowing it down, maybe trying to get some early lines.
Sog's doing? Is he pushing? Oh boy. It might get a little spicy here in the goat path soon.
Oh, I do want the sniper Deadpoo has spotted Deadshot. It looks like they spotted each other. Ooh,
At least one on me.
Deadpoo just shooting right over Deadshot's head there.
Oh, what a swing.
There's at least one
So
more on me.
Sogs was swinged and pre-fired either based off what he spotted or based off the call out. And then finds Lilos. And then the grenade! Sophie! What was that?
Venture taking full advantage of that Game Reaper on the close here, though.
Game Reaper pre-firing might find Spec Ops. He does not. Spec Ops comes out on top on that. Does have to heal a little bit. The utility
no.
coming out now. Here comes Chalk. The grenade from Deadshot finding Reaper. And it's a full kill. Oh, that's gonna hurt the defense into a 3v3.
A lot of the defense has adjusted so much that Tassander is able to push right up the middle into no man's land and getting really close onto Deadshot. Not connecting, though. They need to be ready for Mad Hatter. Then they find him.
Oh, here comes Tassander, though. Very close to objective. Chalk finding the 2 on Goat Path. That's going to give him time to rotate back and maybe help Deadshot a little bit here. Tassander losing the momentum that they had.
Mm-hmm. If they made their approach while Chocolate was crashing, that could have been a cap. Now both of the defenders are here.
Oh, man. Tassander just couldn't quite deal with both of them. Deadshot playing a little game of ring around the rosy, trying to stay in cover and just delay the attack until Chalk could come back them up.
Mm-hmm. Tassander did a really good job of while that distraction was happening in the go path. They went beelined it through a no man's land and got it. I mean, they were within 15 feet of objective. I mean, that is danger and danger close with only Deadshot there to react. Yeah, that was pretty dangerous there for NFI. Definitely very close round, but they're coming out on top. Taking a quick little peek at KDs, we have Sogs with a 5 and 1 KD. They picked up 2 that round. And then Chocolate picking up, I think, 3 that round? Yeah, they picked up 3, I think. Or no, there was the team kill. So they picked up, the team... I don't know, man. Someone can go back and look at it. But yeah, great picks there from NFI. They definitely, I mean, as soon as Sogs went down in the go path, they had 3 defenders adjust to watch go path, which ended up working out for them because that was where a heavy push was coming through. But that could be really dangerous. If there was another person to back up Tassander up that no man's land, that could have been really dangerous that close to objective. Because it took Chocolate a good 25 seconds to get back to objective. That is more than enough time to take out Deadshot and get a cap in.
Absolutely. And honestly, Chalk got a little bit lucky because Venture lined themselves up as they were exiting Goat Path for that double. And Sogs looked away towards the rock in the middle at the very moment Chalk decided to peek off from the side. It was just perfect timing for Chalk and unfortunate timing for Venture.
As we move on to better times, better objectives, we are on Apartments objective with Venture on the defense. A little thing about this objective is the Marsoc only has 1 spawn, so there's not really no point in trying to hide spawn or anything. It's just you have your 1 spawn, you know where you need to go, and you need to move. Looks like we do see Deadshot once again taking up those early lines, trying to get anyone on an early pick. He does spot, I believe, Tassander heading into the south apartments there.
Chalk and Hat are just beelining it towards 3-story, clearing out the center pipelines, trying to gain some ground here. They are possibly going to have to contend with special ops here. Kind of depends on if they choose to aggress 3-story directly or just go around. I think special ops burned himself going up.
Oh, I think he touched the little fire thing in there, yeah. I saw the flames and I'm like, oh no, did he really just do that? I thought he had like a Molotov, and that just... Listen, Mayhem has too many PTSD moments with Molotovs, so when we see fire, it's danger.
It's danger.
No touchy.
In flashbacks.
It looks like Deadshot is going to try to rotate around.
He's in the far
Shock
south
spot
corner.
special ops, but can't quite land the shots onto him. But they do have intel on NFI's approach here on Beach now. Oh,
Game Reaper with a quick line on Deadpoo there. Deadpoo tried swinging into the go path, and that's going to open up a lot of doorways here for NFI to get behind apartments.
special ops just taking pop shots here, trying to slow down the NFI approach here on the beach, but he's going to expose too much. Going down to Chalk with the MK18. A nice little headshot there. Bringing the Venture defense down to 3.
3 with 4 minutes on the clock. That is a lot of time for NFI to really make any rotation they want and attack from every angle.
Yeah, this is not the position Venture wants to be in. They need to get those picks, but I think they're trying so hard to get those picks. They're just overexposing.
Looking towards pipe.
Yeah. And the thing is, NFI seem to be playing it quite slow, waiting for those picks.
Okay. Just come around the front with me. Look at.
Come around the front. Okay.
A little bit of planning here between Sogs and Reaper, trying to decide how they're going to approach this. And just a quick shout out here. Sogs with the P90 on a map like Abandon is crazy work. I will not lie.
Well, now he's in the range where that P90 will help him out.
Sure. As you say that, though, he can't quite hit the shots on the Tassander through the window. Sogs taking a couple bullets there. In the background, we see Deadshot approaching onto Sophie as well.
He is in the window of North Apartment.
It looks like, taking a quick peek at the other side of the map, Mad Hatter and Chocolate have opted to just kind of remain in the 3-story, just trying to see if they can find any early picks. Typically, once you get the 3-story control, it's pretty common to see people push around to the north, but...
Sophie might find Sogs here. Oh, the trade!
Deadshot should be able to call out that trade. And he does.
Tank shed your side. Tank shed your side.
Gotta rush on over here. Can't miss the action on objective as NFI makes their final approach.
See them by tin shack.
Lilos does a quick swing out. I think might have spotted Game Reaper.
Oh, what a grenade!
Ooh, utility!
Oh, but it wasn't cooked. It would have found Deadshot. Oh, a perfect smoke on
Wow,
Lilos.
great smoke, yeah.
Less than 2 minutes. Chalk finding that kill. Tassander finding the refrag. Now we're into the 1v3. Deadshot. Danger close to objective now. Utility coming out the window to try and prevent that. Gotta hold on to Tassander here, who's now distracted. Ben, if I play their cards right, they could really get on objective here. Deadshot going for the other side. Tassander not gonna let that happen, though.
The smoke's getting on OBJ. The smokes are actually blocking Game Reaper's line onto Tassander. Although he might
100%.
spot him here.
Tassander
throws a
just
smoke out.
trying to die here. The NFI doing their best not to kill him.
Nobody
Game Reaper going
finds
down.
him.
Deadshot finding the kill, though.
Yeah,
They
NFI
wanted
just
that.
working on... Yeah, NFI really working on that, constricting that last defender and really pushing him out into the open there. But yeah, NFI now putting themselves in a really good position, up 3-0. They are 1 round away from winning map 1.
This is the kind of momentum you want early on, for sure. Now, is NFI the favored winner for this matchup?
I do believe so, yes. Yeah, NFI have shown that they are here to make it just past the EU. They're trying to go for the world here. Looking at their record is 13-1 throughout the regular season.
Just catching up on chat, making sure everything looks good on the stream. so while we're potentially coming to the conclusion of map number 1, what do you think map number 2 is gonna be? Where do you think we're going?
Map 2. It's going to be Venture's pick. Could go take another little peek at their strengths here. It looks like their strength is Bazaar, which I don't believe Bazaar was banned. And also Cargo is also on the board. They're Venture's undefeated on Cargo. So yeah, I think we could see some closer range. And it does seem like they're winning those closer range engagements against NFI. Tasandra was able to take out 2 before getting gunned down. So I do think they might prefer those closer range engagements. But we'll just have to wait and find out as Venture make a 4-man push. They really want that 3-story control.
Yeah, I gotta wonder what's going through. Oh, Game Reaper having to heal up a little bit. Tasandra manages to land a few bullets. I gotta wonder what's going through Venture's mind right now. Right now, they are down 3. NFI, 1 point away. Ooh, a beautiful shot from Deadshot onto Tasandra. Gonna take out that long-ranged Overwatch that Venture had. NFI being 1 point away from taking map 1, and this is an immediate elimination if Venture loses 2 maps. So there's got to be a bit of a mind game going on here.
I mean, definitely. The biggest thing that Venture just needs right now is to just run their norm, you know, play with what you're used to. Don't try to switch anything up. And that's going to work out in their favor quite a bit. Now, they're being quite loud on the 3-story. Mad Hatter has called it out.
Felt like a drone flying into this building. Hatter versus 3 members of Venture. Sophie, or yeah, Deadpoo going down to Mad Hatter. First one, they're not playing together. They're kind of going up one at a time, and then they expose to the room. They expose to the room that their teammate just died from with their backs. That's 3 down from Venture. Mad Hatter going crazy over the 3K.
And given the call out, the last one's on him. Ooh, in fact, dude, I'm telling you, some of these grenades they've thrown, if just a little bit better cooking, would be insane.
100%. I think a lot of these grenades have been panicked. Oh, Lilos with the gun over the head of Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter finding the final kill. A nice little 4-piece to finish off. Map number 1 abandoned. NFI walking away with it.
Yeah, if that isn't a statement, I don't know what it is. That is NFI coming out and saying, this is our map, this is what we're going to play on. And that just put themselves in a good position there. Now, the biggest thing Venture needs to do here is knock it into their own head. You know, take a step back. They've just lost the map, suck it up, come back stronger the next map.
100%. And the map they lost was NFI's map pick. It was expected to kind of, you know, go towards the home team. That's what they wanted. Now, like you said, Venture cannot get into their own head. They need to take control of the pace here. They let NFI control basically the whole battlefield every round in Abandoned. So Venture need to go to the map where they're most comfortable on, based on what's in the pool, and they need to take control of that battlefield tempo.
I'm gonna make a call out. I'm gonna say Cargo. That's gonna be my guess. I'm gonna guess Cargo. And that would just go to complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Abandon, one of the largest maps in the game, to Cargo, the smallest map in the game.
I think that would be a smart move. I think that would kind of equalize things. Because your other maps like Quarantine, shoot, even less so Subway, but other maps just have so much dynamic, so much variety. It can be hard to keep up. But with Cargo, it's just Cargo. It's just all close. You're all doing the same thing. You're all in the same place. So it's a really good equalizer. But I mean, if one team is just so much better at being quick and getting their snapshots in, it can still be a blowout.
Yeah, for sure. And Cargo could also bring the opportunity to use a little bit more utility. We didn't see too much utility coming out from Venture here, but NFI showing that on that apartments objective, they threw a lot of smokes onto the objective. They were able to shut down Lilo's line there on the tank factory. So going into a map that can, yes, it can favor the quicker playstyles, but also if you just get into some like positions where you can really use utility to clear stuff out, it can be a map that definitely favors whoever. I will say they've thrown good grenades. Like, they've definitely been good throws. It's just a little bit undercooked.
Yeah, the util from NFI has just been so crazy. Although we did see, who was it? Sophie get a really good grenade out there on Goat Path.
Yeah, we saw one from Sophie. We saw one from Tassander that got really close to, I believe, Mad Hatter and Deadshot, but
Yes.
it wasn't cooked, and so they were able to run away from it.
Yeah, it would have been.
And also Deadshot getting an amazing grenade on his own teammate on round 2 in the Goat Path.
Miss that. I may have caught it in the background. I just didn't notice it to the kill feed.
So yeah, I mean, hey, they're showing they know how to use that utility, so I'm hoping that we'll get to see a little bit more of it as we sit here in the lobby waiting for map number 2.
We'll go ahead and just continue showing match clips for everybody's entertainment, and we'll be back as soon as the action starts. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are on to Bazaar. Again, NFI versus Venture. Venture now coming in on their map pick. Gonna start off on the offense. There it is. Wonderful Bazaar now gone away from us, but we're gonna hop into the scoreboard. Ghost, you predicted Cargo. We are now on Bazaar. What do you think the thought process is?
You know, I had horrible predictions all night, man. Alright. Okay, so
buddy.
looking at
It's
Venture
early, it's
statistics on Bazaar. Venture statistics on Bazaar, they played it 4 times, won 3, 80% round win rate. And then NFI playing this map. Ooh, where did it go? I lost it. Playing it map 3 times, losing it twice. They've only won once. So definitely just picking a map where they believe they can win on, and Venture definitely need to show that here because they did just go down 4-0 on Abandoned. So this is their time to respond, and this is a pretty good map to do it on. Honestly, this is a map that opens up a lot of things, opens up a lot of opportunities to get picks, get plays, and maybe even a cap if we get lucky. Something NFI was doing on Abandoned was they would kind of over-rotate, in my opinion. They would just kind of, as soon as something happened on one side of the map, they would just kind of full stack to that side and really try to support and lock that part down, which for Bazaar can be really dangerous because if you try to do that, then you can open up a whole other lines that the Marsoc can attack from and may even leave the objective open if you're not careful. But we'll just have to see how they play it. And we are awaiting for round numero uno.
Go ahead and put us into the game scene here. Let's take a look. We do have everybody in lobby. Same rosters. So we're just waiting for the ready ups here. Looks like the teams are still in the planning stage.
I do want to point out so NFI versus Venture in week 3 of VR of the season 17. Venture won Bazaar in a 4-0 sweep. So that could definitely tailor towards why they want to pick this map.
Kind of perusing through the map. The map has been changed quite a bit since the OG days with the addition of ladders and some changes in the overall, I guess, scene. We've got some new assets, some additional assets. I think some things have been removed, so we have different forms of cover throughout the map. Definitely changes the way this map is played. Ghost, do you think it's for the better?
Personally, I think the ladders kind of push for they add too much uncertainty. It opens up a lot of angles that you can't really play in anymore. And I don't know. In my opinion, I don't like the ladders. I think they're kind of strange. But, you know, to each their own. They were definitely cool when they were first added. Like, it's cool to get on top of Bazaar and be like, because normally you only see the top of Bazaar as the casters, as we are now. But now being able to be up there and you can just kind of see so much.
It definitely felt like one of those, let's put it in there because we can. And it'll be really cool to people, you know? And like you said, it was in the beginning because it was, oh, cool, new. But then you quickly realize that this doesn't feel very planned out. This doesn't feel very balanced when you actually get into a match and start utilizing its potential.
Yeah, I can definitely agree to that. I also did just take a quick peek at chat. We have Sir James asking, are you ready for later Ghosts? So yes, for those who don't know, the NA semifinals are going to be playing after these matches here today. And Mayhem is one of the performing teams in there, alongside Classified, Grim Tide, and No Quarters. So be sure to tune into those later. I do believe Minsu will be casting them.
Yes. Sir Keo might also be hitting one of the streams. I'm not... Although, I don't think we're playing at the same time. I think we are playing separately. So we may only have one stream for that.
Well, either way, gonna be good Onward, as always.
Full day, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow as well as we go into the actual finals, which will be based on which teams come out on top during the semis, which hopefully map number 2 of this semi will be underway here shortly, so we don't have to continue to drag on.
Yeah, I'm twiddling my thumbs right now.
We did
It
have
looks like we are
one left the lobby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe a swap or a substitute.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring us into an intermission while we see what's going on. So don't go too far. Actually, you can go too far because there is another stream up right now. Hopefully you can catch some EU action over on the other side of things. Be sure to check out who are the other 2 teams?
Friendly Fire and oh god.
The other 2 teams?
Oh god. Why did I forget the name?
I
forgot the name.
Is it Newbies?
Newbies, yes, Newbies.
Okay. Friendly Fire
that's really
Newbies
bad.
over on over on Sir Keo's stream. Go check it out. We're gonna go into intermission. Catch y'all soon. Well, welcome back. You know, typical Onward timing fashion. As soon as we go to intermission, we hop right into the action here. Venture again on the attack on their map pick. We got Spec Ops, Deadpoo, Sophie, and Tassander along with Lilos here, doing a 5-man push across the street, going straight for the eastern objective here. Far East Courtyard NFI on the defense. Ghost, tell me about the defense so far. Wait, we can't just yet, as Mad Hatter just gets the firing squad trying to cross from tank here.
It does only get downed though. It is actually pretty. They had all 5 shooting at him. Wow, the real firing squad there on Mad Hatter. And yes, we did have a substitute come in for Chocolate, Jittery List, now taking his place. Sogs, getting into Kia, getting control, shutting down this aggressive push. Venture have used so much utility in the first half of the round that they're almost struggling a little bit here. They're pushing themselves into bottleneck positions. They aren't going to be able to push out of Sogs' line because Deadshot's right here.
I killed another.
There to shut down Special Ops.
Venture did such a great job at gaining quick ground, but they just keep exposing themselves. One at a
Sogs
time.
finding 3.
Insane.
And now we're all left to 1. Mad Hatter might even been able to see Sophie there, and maybe. It looks like Deadshot might actually attempt the revive. Oh no, he tries the grenade. And it looks like Sogs is going to be utilizing the ladders here, getting up onto Kia roof. And yeah, Sophie is now trapped. They cannot get out of this. They have to go through.
They get flanked by Jittery List.
Game Reaper might go for the swing.
Lots of loud callouts here. Venture just losing all of their momentum because of Sogs. Sogs now actually up on the roof of Kayat, like we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm. And looks like Jittery List is making his move into the blue room, going to be completely shutting down all of Sophie's movements.
I don't know, I'm gonna cry. That's what.
Sophie and Deadshot having some quality conversations there.
Send your forces to us.
You want me to tell you guys their strats?
It looks like Soggs actually tried to jump scare Jittery there, shot one bullet next to him, and he flipped around like 180 degrees.
Can you guys just leave me alone?
Poor Sophie.
He's under scaffolding. Right now. Yeah, no shit, sure.
Also, contrary to my expectations, I believe Sophie is a guy.
Maybe I think it might be.
Oh,
Finds
finding
one.
Grim Reaper.
Honestly, if they can,
Oh,
if they could
the
have gotten through
trade.
Deadshot there, that could have actually gotten pretty dangerous there. Because Sog's all the way up on Kiat roof, that's pretty dangerous.
Oh my
Y'all,
goodness.
this one defender stopping the cat. Sog's
That
and
was actually
Deadshot.
crazy.
Yeah, Soggs and Deadshot getting all the kills there. Venture, I mean, all 5 attackers within 10 feet of each other. You know, it's not exactly what is you see on Bazaar. You typically like to see a little bit more spreading out and cross angles, but hey, I mean, to each their own. They did get I think Venture really were depending on the quick spawn there. So the Marsoc did have 2 spawns. There's a spawn in the north, spawn in the south. They did get the southern one, which is further away. But they still opted to just push into the street, get right across Center Bazaar. But yeah, trying to push that Center Bazaar without having any form of kiosk control is just so dangerous, as we've seen by Soggs picking up 3.
Crazy behavior, honestly. Give me
This is them
one
under scaffolding. I'm scared.
That's another great thing we still see even at the top level in the, stresses of postseason matches. We still see some great banter, honestly, from teams. I mean, the chemistry here for a lot of these teams really in Onward is just so great. So all these players playing in pub lobbies together, there's still the competitive aspect, but honestly, all together through and through, we're still a community, and we still have our good times.
Mm-hmm. It is also one of the few games in VRML that there's proximity chat. You can hear the other people next to you if they're close enough. Which is something like a game like Breachers or Veil. You don't really have that
Is there another
proximity
one?
chat. Another
I think
what?
it's the
What am I
only
looking
one with prox chat.
at? Yeah, it might be.
Watch that.
NFI hitting the exact same spawn, doing a much wider spread here.
Oh, the
It looks like they
C4!
are- Ooh, wow!
What a C4 from Sophie gonna find two. No, they can get the confirms. There's nobody watching. Oh, there is. The trade
And
comes
finds
out
it.
to Sonder.
They've called out the cross. Tassander needs to take out these bodies here because these are 2 downs. So these people are still in the round here. They've been called out.
Honestly, Tassander holding the cross to take down a revive would also be powerful. But Tassander's focused on their backside.
Well, yeah, he has to be. He has no teammates here to help him out. He's kind of pushed into a lone position here as Soggs prepares the push on 2. Might see him.
Oh, and another trade.
Fuck, he didn't die.
There are 3 downed NFI members.
Crazy.
And
Who's gonna
these center market people that were down in the very beginning have called out special ops. They should have enough time to get the revives because when you get to that down state, you have 2.5 minutes until you bleed out. And they did get down fairly early on. They probably have another minute before they bleed out.
And now nobody on Venture's really gonna. Well, Spec Ops might be looking for a dead poop, finding Sogs on the cross. Gotta look at Spec Ops. Spec Ops is actually not looking outward. They are just focused on the approach onto them. So they won't catch a revive.
Saved.
Nobody going
Smoke
for the
coming out.
confirms. And this is going to bring this back into NFI's advantage here. Now into a 3v3.
Now, Mad Hatter and Jittery List have been injured, so it does take only one bullet to take them out. Yeah, unless it's like a pistol to the hand, if you just really go for the weakest round possible. But Deadpoo with that AKM, I believe. Yeah, if they get shot by that, they are not surviving. Luckily for this Venture defense here, this attack is coming from one direction primarily, which is going to help them out. Although Special Ops just needs to hold down the key out, make sure he doesn't get into peaky, because he's currently their front side coverage right now. If they lose him, then that could open up a lot of lines.
NFI working on their final approach here, getting some coverage so they can set up. Are they all going to push from the east?
Deadshot used an M203 smoke to get to the cross in the east. Looks like they are going to go for the deep cross. Or not, going in closer. Using utility, applying pressure on objective, shutting down lines. Ooh.
-1.
With a headshot. Now that only leaves Mad Hatter and Jittery List, the both previously downed players. So even if there were trades, it would work out in the favor of Venture.
There it is.
Deadpool
right
finding
there.
one.
Nice shot onto Jittery List. The smoke doing a really good job at cutting the courtyard, but I think they needed a little bit more off to the side so they can get more coverage. Mad Hatter finding one. Gonna try and take out this defense one at a time here. Now into the blue room. Might be able to catch Dead Poop if he overexposes. Special Ops going in for a flank, I think.
I don't think the flank is the right move here. You have a minute left on the clock. You should really just get some cross lines to help each other out.
Absolutely. Honestly, it just puts you at a disadvantage here because Mad Hatter will hear you going loud around, and if you don't win out on the attack and you just go down, you have nobody to get the refrag, and you bring it to a 1v1.
Mad Hatter should have heard Special Ops there.
Oh.
Ooh.
There
Deadpool
it
with
is.
a quick shot.
Right there. Venture taking their first point here in the EU semis.
For sure. Yeah, that was after 5 rounds. Venture finally getting a point on the board.
That's definitely going to take a little bit of pressure off their shoulders.
Yeah, now that they're just like, okay, we've got our momentum, let's keep rolling with it. We're going on to our attack, new objective. This is an objective where the 5-man rush might favor them a little bit more, because once you get close to this objective, you can really just kind of go in through a lot of other buildings, get around very quickly. And you'll see that objective later. Or whenever they start the round. as the golden beeps ring out and we get into round number 3 here.
So starting the round. We are moving objectives here.
And round reset.
You lied to me. How could
I
you do
heard the
this?
beeps. I saw them all. I went over to Venture's spawn and I'm like, that's a lot of dead bodies.
I'll just go ahead and keep this up so everybody can see the KDs.
All right, now as we get into round number 3. Oh, did they really give me 4 beeps? Oh, those guys suck, man. Third time's the charm. All 5 load in on each side. Here we go. Sophie and Tassander told to watch the road. Tassander dropping a magazine.
Oh my god. What's that?
Oh, wow. What a shot from Sophie. Downing Mad Hatter, but Sophie immediately getting refragged here.
They can't get that confirm onto Mad Hatter. If Tassander goes down, this could be a revive. Because they've called out the kill. It looks like Sogs might even attempt.
No one cross north.
Oh, what a shot.
Sogs finding a headshot. Although Lilo's getting up onto the roof. Could find Sogs here.
They're not looking for him.
Mm-mm.
They aren't focused on the road. They need to get the confirm.
If they just look over towards Scaffold, they're going to see Sogs.
Yeah, they should have been aware of all the callouts from early on. Just a little bit more battlefield awareness here, but that revive's going to come out. Game Reaper doing work in the south. Gonna find Spec Ops.
Lilo's left in a 1 versus 5. NFI showing their defensive prowess here. And Game Reaper pushing to maybe even shut down him coming off the ladder. Yeah, he's trapped. He has to win this gunfight against Game Reaper.
Just
'Cause that makes
giving
her-
up the high ground there.
Gets tagged. Uses the smoke. May try to get out.
Does
Wow,
get out.
catching another bullet by Sogs. They've got him completely trapped in here in this blue room. Lilo's using another smoke. Gonna run into Game Reaper.
Hit the corner of a wall
5
there, but
alive
we do have the
defense.
final kill here. Yep, 5 up. Unfortunately, Venture not quite able to do the damage they wanted to do there. NFI taking it away.
Yeah, there's been quite a few times where Venture do a great job of getting those early picks, but they only down them and not able to get the confirms. Should definitely try to prioritize here. And NFI showing off their gun skill a bit, winning a couple gunfights. They're really shutting things down.
Apologies for that. I am my computer is continuing to overexert, so I'm just making sure we don't have a sudden crash. All right, so Ghost, we had a 4-0 on map number 1 on Abandoned, NFI's map pick. We are now here on Bazaar Ventures map pick, and we are trading rounds. Unfortunately, Venture still need to take their Marsoc round in order to get the 1-up that they need. What do you think Venture needs to do differently in order to accomplish this?
Yeah, so Venture, this being Venture's map pick, they need to win a Marsoc on it. NFI have been able to shut down 2 of their Marsocs already. They're not going to have many opportunities left ahead of them. They can keep the Volt tradings up until they get to that round 7, but it does come down to teamwork, working to getting that Marsoc win. I mean, NFI, they've done a really good job of those push outs and then condensing, really working together. And Venture just need to try to shuffle them out using utility. Could be a really good way to really shut down some of their lines, get close. But yeah, it comes down to just winning the gunfights and getting that Marsoc win.
Yeah, teamwork is a massive need, especially on that last round, man. If Lilos was just a little bit more aware of what was going on the street, he was in the perfect position to assist. And that would have been 2 pickups right there.
It looks like
Here we
there
go.
was a sub in on the Venture side. Marmar coming in for Deadpoo.
Yeah, like Alfie said, play for callouts. Alfie needs to know exactly
NFI getting the northern spawn, which is the further away spawn. But I feel like will work out in NFI's favor because NFI love to get that surrounding, constricting kind of attack here. And starting from the north allows you to go in literally every direction. They did call out the spawn. That is a huge call out there. I believe that was special ops. Lilo's hearing the footsteps of Sogs in this blue room through the walls. He seems to be careful not to make a footstep of his own. He's done a great job of getting to a position where he can play hidden, play quiet, and really get the jump on somebody. And maybe even 2 people. If Game Reaper and Mad Hatter out here in the northeast, if they walk right by him trying to cross the street in the tank, they could pick up both.
Yeah, it's really going to be a matter of if Lilos, first off, stays disciplined on this angle or decides to look out towards the tank, and then if they get too distracted by Sog.
And this is a very tucked-in defense we see coming from Venture. Outside of Lilos, most of the defense isn't really too far out. You do have Marmar in the deep south, able to try to shut down that ladder approach, but Jitteriness and Deadshot are here, and they're going to be the first point of contact for Marmar here. It actually looks like Marmar is going to give them the ladder. Special Ops calling it out.
Lilos has also been called out here in the east.
That's one.
Wow. Marmar finding Jitteriness from the south here. That's going to lessen the offensive power here into a 4v5.
Just
Lilos
really
gonna find Sogs. Yes!
This is the break that they needed now. Lilo should know he's on the ladder. He runs out in the open, exposing to Deadshot. Venture just need to slow things down here. Lilos did a great job of taking out Sogs. They just needed to hold it down in there, not really expose too much. And now they need to make sure that they don't expose the Deadshot.
Spec Ops did call out that there was one on the roof, right?
He did. He said one going up ladder.
Yep. So again, that's just a little bit more battlefield awareness needed from Venture Game Reaper finding Tazinator. A little bit more battlefield awareness.
Continuing to peek and losing people when they don't really need to. They can really just Deadshot throwing his gun over the wall trying to shoot down. But yeah, Venture, they can just wait. Deadshot is in a position where, yes, he's really good up on that roof, but he's also can be pretty useless if you play the correct positions. So it's really just all up to Game Reaper and Mad Hatter, which Tassandra was going to be their shutdown, but now it's up to Sophie. Deadshot calling out Sophie there on yellow 3. And yellow 2 as well. These callouts seem awfully familiar. Mad Hatter and Game Reaper able to get around in the east. Could find Marmar. Marmar is now in a very dangerous position here.
Get Marmar here.
As Game Reaper comes around in their east, they're gonna have nowhere to go here soon.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan. We're into the later part of the round. I feel like Marmar would be better suited. Looking more towards objective here. Especially with all this pressure going on.
Yep.
One down south.
Game Reaper finding Marmar.
Oh, Spec Ops with a nice little peek out. Gonna find Mad Hatter, evening things up to a 2v2. Game Reaper
Honestly,
and Deadshot.
I mean, honestly, a 2v1. Both of these Volk positions are not like threatened by this roof. So it's really a 2v1. Sophie and Special Ops versus Game Reaper. And Marmar did call him out before getting confirmed.
Deadshot really needs to get off this roof. 60 seconds left. They are not part of the attack right now.
Sophie taking shots. Special Ops coming in to help.
Sophie might go
Although
down
Special Ops
here.
now needs to...
Oh, Deadshot coming in around the back. Might find Spec Ops. Spec Ops so distracted. Gonna find Game Reaper, though. Now coming out for Deadshot. Oh, the drop shot. Utility. Spec Ops can't quite get the C4 out in time now.
Sophie
into
isn't
1v1.
reacting.
Oh, and Deadshot comes out on top. NFI going up to 3 points.
Wow. Huge round win there for NFI, winning a Marsoc on the enemy's map pick. God, Massive,
Holy-
don't do this to me, Joker.
As soon as I said it, I realized. Massive. I do say massive a lot, guys. That was something
Huge.
we talked about after last last cast.
Yeah, we've noticed. Yeah, we've noticed with some of the other Mayhemian casters, we have a thing that we always say. So with James, he would always say huge, specifically with a Y. And then Joker in the last cast just kept saying massive. And yeah.
Now
Every
you
time
need
I hear
one.
it now.
You need
I don't
one.
want one.
You need it's a catchphrase, bruh. You need it. So
God, what
good.
would be my catchphrase? Yikes. Bad shot.
Yikes.
Oh no. That would be my catchphrase.
I like yikes. That's a good one.
Yikes. Alright, I'm gonna
Yikes.
start saying that now. See what happens.
Yeah. Just start saying yikes if you know, on a missed shot or something. Ooh, yikes.
I feel like I'm gonna get a bad DM after that if I just keep saying yikes after that.
Nightfire's a big one for him was the likes of. He really likes saying
Oh yeah.
with the likes of. And here we go. Hopping into round numero 5.
Wow, look at us with our Spanish. I took Spanish. I took one Spanish class in high school, and I haven't spoke it since.
Here we go. We are moving objectives here into the west side. In my asset.
A little bit of ego coming through with NFI. Heard we've already won, and we're going to win it all. Coming from NFI.
Boy, oh boy, let's hope that doesn't jinx them a little bit here into the east or western objective. Venture on the attack now. NFI getting super aggressive out here. Gonna go for the
Dogs.
cross.
Soggs is going to try to get to that ladder, I think. No, getting the full southwestern cross, and he makes it. Wow. He's going to be face to face with Marmar here, and Soggs is ready for it.
Marmar trying to back off of the corner instead of countering the aggression. Soggs just taking advantage of that.
And now Soggs is in such a powerful position and so hard to deal with.
Game Reaper trying to get the pre-fire onto Tassander through the wood. Tassander with the grenade. Not gonna get where he wanted it to go. Yikes.
I should just say in a completely like super like low monotone. It was like, yeah, wow, look at that play. Yikes.
Yikes. Game Reaper just pushing off of that. I have to go see Jittery List and Spec Ops as I run into the wall trying to catch it.
Yeah, they are so close to each other. There is no C4 being brought out here. Wow, Soggs finding Sophie in the back.
Back to Spec Ops here.
Spec Ops could find 2 here if he picks up Jittery and then a quick peek on find Reaper. Woo! Finds 1. Where's the reaction? Reaper hasn't reacted. Reaper's a free pick for Spec Ops right now.
He's so focused on Lilos, manages to find the pickup, but was so
he still hasn't reacted. And he finally moves off. Wow, Game Reaper was a free pick there for like a minute. Actually, the objective is open. If Spec Ops just runs right to the objective, it's open. Okay, Deadshot finally adjusting his line. But if Deadshot gets taken out by Tassander, he literally can just walk right onto objective.
No way.
And he runs into Mad Hatter. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, that's one of the few things where when you're watching as a caster, it's just kind of the stuff that you see, the holes in the defense. Tassander left in a 1v4. Deadshot, danger close.
Damn.
He finds him. And he's actually in a pretty good position to keep attacking towards the objective. Game Reaper pushing across. Could find him.
Ooh, Game Reaper almost actually winning on the flick.
Down to 2. Might have even seen Soggs there.
Oh, but crosses at the wrong time. Soggs finding the final pickup. NFI taking this match.
Yes, so that means we now have at least one of the winners entering the EU final. No fun intended. And I do believe the second match is still going on right now. So be sure to go check in on, I believe, the other stream A or stream B. I don't know.
Technically stream A, but I don't know if, yeah, it would be stream A.
Stream A. Make sure to check out Newbies versus Friendly Fire to check out who else is going to be facing NFI in the EU final happening tomorrow.
Absolutely. We won't dive too far into the talks because of the action going on over there. So go check it out. I'm going to leave the match clips running over here so people can just check out the replays. Oh,
it looks like there is going to be a photo. So don't leave the lobby just yet, Joker.
Oh,
we may have a big photo coming in.
Okay. That's another thing some teams like to do is the photos. All right, so I'm just going to bring us into the map. I assume they're going to... Yeah, they'll go to a different map for it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I'll throw up the replays until that happens.
But yeah, and honestly, that's a great... that's one of like the really nice things that you can do in Onward is, you know, once the game is on, once the match is over, you can hop in any rando lobby and get a photo with the other team, show the sportsmanship. And this is deep down what we want from the community, you know? I mean, it's what our community is. It's, you know, being nice to each other and getting photos. I will say, in my earlier career in Onward VRML, I played on a team called VOA, and it was a tradition of ours to take a photo with the other team. And I could probably go back in that old Discord and find all of the photos from all the teams that we've taken photos with. Looks like we are going to be staying on Bazaar. Hopefully we get a good backdrop.
My boy! Yeah! I know the Ruski. KM is the Ruski. Go on, you can change it like that.
What would be the best spot to take a photo on Bazaar? I don't know. Definitely not a dumpster in the background. You'd have to get like a nice clean wall. Looks like they are going to be heading over to Kiat. I wonder if they'll do it up on the roof. Do we see an RPG? Looks. Are they going? Yep, they are going up to the roof. Oh my god! Look at all of them on the ladder. It's like human centipede.
Don't put that image.
Two hands so you don't accidentally shoot each other. Someone say hey. Is that everyone?
Okay, right, guys, let's get 5 venture here, 5 NFI here, and we will back, and they can take it looking that way. Over the map.
Yeah,
Okay,
so we
so
all
you need to
look
stay by
over.
the middle.
Or you can shut the fuck up.
I'll stand by the middle.
Language!
NFI this side of me.
Height order, spec.
It's so small.
Okay, Hatcher, you're the other side of Deadshot.
Oh, wait,
Hatcher,
that-
you're the other
no.
side of Deadshot.
Wait, I'm the
Wait,
tallest.
there-
Oh, my
there are
tallest.
It's Ridley on the other side as well.
Wow, look at this
Yeah.
coordination here coming out.
Just stand.
I'm pretty sure they're going to spend more time coordinating how to take a photo
This way or this way?
They which
If we-
direction?
than it is to coordinate an offense.
Yeah, look
Good
over the
lord.
square. Look towards the square.
Yeah, they want us to look here. Come to the other side, Joker. They want us to. Oh wait, which side are we looking? Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Yeah. I got you.
Onward, onward,
Yeah.
My ears. Oh, the grenade! The grenade! There's a grenade! Oh.
Oh my goodness.
And it sogs with a 4K with a knife.
Oh, that's awesome. I hid all the like assets and stuff on the stream so it could just be just the game.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Oh, Nike.
Very good stuff.
Checking out the wonderful KDs after the madness. All right, folks. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the show. We all got to see again some great Onward action here. Ghost, any closing statements?
No, man. I mean, we got it. We got it all. NFI are your champions, or for entering the finals for EU.
All right. Well, we'll have to go wait and see who comes out on top on the stream number A. Again, I'm going to put up the match clips and we are going to go cold mic until things conclude. So go ahead and go check out that action, folks.
VRML is brought to you by Downpour Interactive, Helga, the esports manager. Thanks for watching VRML.